Krishna. Om Ajnanatimihantashya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yutapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shya Shri Rupam Sakrajadam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Swavanudam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanushtute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanjakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Nanu dvesti kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhuk kusalnanyasu siddhyanti etarani kritani yat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Does anyone want to read the translation and purport? Okay. let me read it. Hare Krishna. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 18th chapter, verse number 7. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Maharaja Parikshit was a realist. Like the bees who only accept the essence of a flower, he knew perfectly well that in this age of Kali, auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious acts must be actually performed to render effects. So he was never envious of the personality of Kali. Purport. The age of Kali is called the fallen age. In this fallen age, because the living beings are in an awkward position, the Supreme Personality, Supreme Lord has given some special facilities to them. So by the will of the Lord, a living being does not become a victim of the sinful activity until the act is actually performed. In other ages, simply by thinking of performing a sinful act, one used to become a victim of the act. On the contrary, a living being in this age is awarded with the results of pious acts simply by thinking of them. Maharaja Parikshit, being the most learned and experienced king by the grace of the Lord, was not unnecessarily envious of the personality of Kali because he did not intend to give him any chance to perform any sinful act. He protected his subjects from falling prey to the sinful acts of the age of Kali. And at the same time, he gave full facility to the age of Kali by allotting him some particular places. At the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that even though all nefarious activities of the personality of Kali are present, there is a great advantage in the age of Kali. One can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Thus, Maharaja Parikshit made an organized effort to propagate the chanting of the holy names, Lord's holy name, and thus he saved the citizens from the clutches of Kali. It is for this advantage only the great sages sometimes wish all good for the age of Kali. In the Vedas also, it is said that by discourse on Lord Krishna's activities, one can get rid of all the disadvantages of the age of Kali. In the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also said that by the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord becomes at once arrested within one's heart. These are some of the great advantages of the age of Kali. And Maharaja Parikshit took all advantages and did not think any ill of the age of Kali, true to his Vaishnavite cult. Hare Krishna. Shashwin, can you do the next verse?
Okay, Prabhuji. Kimnu balesu surena kalina dira biruna apramatta pramatteshu yovriko nrisu vartate.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Maharaja Parikshit considered that less intelligent men might find personality of Kali to be very powerful, but those who are self-controlled would have nothing to fear. The king was powerful like a tiger and took care of the foolish, careless persons. Purport. Those who are not devotees of the Lord are careless and unintelligent. Unless one is thoroughly intelligent, one cannot be a devotee of the Lord. Those who are not devotees of the Lord fall prey to the actions of Kali. It will not be possible to bring about a saner condition in society unless we are prepared to accept the modes of action adopted by Maharaja Parikshit, that is, propagation of the devotional service of the Lord to the common man. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalakya Vitamina Tasmashti Guru. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, everyone, for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words in glorification of Krishna and his devotees through these wonderful verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in chapter 18 of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and verse number 7 and 8. And then how Parikshit Maharaj received Kali, and then what are his dealings. And then here it is mentioned that Kali is a very age which is not of good qualities. Many bad qualities are mentioned in the age of Kali, whereas in other ages like Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. So these three ages were fairly, not so nefarious and not so dangerous in terms of fall down. But here, everyone, practically everyone is exposed to a lot of impurities. A lot of unwanted things are there in this current condition, especially during the current period where we are going through, where the internet, the the social media, the television is to such an extent that anybody can access anything anywhere in the world. If he just has internet connection, he can be lost in the material attachments, and then he can lose himself, and then he can lose his self-esteem. He can lose his soul for all the things what Kali is offering. But as Prabhupada mentions in the purport, that since this is a very awkward position to be in born in the age of Kali, Krishna has given a very wonderful thing, that just by chanting his holy names, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Parambrajet. That means Kaledosher Nider Rajan. That means this is an age of full of faults. There's hardly any good qualities, but Asti Eko Mahad Guna. So it has got very wonderful quality that Kirtana Deva Krishnasya. So one who can chant the glories of Lord, one who can simply chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So John, one who accepts the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and then chants offenselessly, he just becomes purified. And then Mukta Sangha Parambrajet, that means everything will be victorious to him. So we have seen that, in many countries, in many nooks and corners of the world, as it is stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that his names will be spread in all the villages and towns of the world. So we can see that various sects of people in different parts of the world are taken to this simple process of chanting and then dancing, and it looks as if it's enjoying. In actuality, it is a process that we can get liberated by this simple act of chanting and dancing. So this is a wonderful feature of this Kali Yuga. So in this age, it is said that that if you do anything small, or even if you think of something like if you want to think, okay, I want to help build a temple, I want to assist devotees in then preaching, and assist devotees in book distribution, assist devotees in various activities in the temple. If you're just thinking, if you're just meditating, that sukruti, that good returns from that thinking is given to you. But whereas a bad activity, unless it is done actually, it will not be affected to your bank account. Like we have a karma account, like we have positive and negative, all of us. So when we are born with a lot of positives and negatives. So that's why we have different conditions, we have different situations, we are put into difficulties. Sometimes we are happy, so-called happy in material senses, and then sometimes we are so-called distressed. Why this is because we have done we have taken millions and millions of births, and then we have done so many sinful activities, and those activities are coming back as karmic reactions. So those karmic reactions are at once not given by the Supreme Lord, because if he gives all the bad karmic activities and in one birth, we won't be even able to think about Lord, because we'll be so much distressed, we'll be so much perplexed what to do. If you don't get a next meal, if you don't have a shelter, or if you are so much distressed, so then you can't think of the Lord. And then similarly, if you are given so much opulence, that means you are not thinking about the Lord, or you are just ignoring the fact that the Lord is there, and then Lord has given me all these things. But you will be thinking that, oh, I'm the doer, I did like this, I have done like this, because of that I'm getting all these results. So you'll be so much puffed up. So because of this positive and negative, So we are getting this karmic reactions. So Lord is so merciful on us that to balance, to evenly balance these positives and negatives and give it to us. And especially in this age of Kali, where our lifespan is very short. Like in the it is said in the Satyuga, people used to live 100,000 years. Then in Dwapar Yuga, it is in Treta Yuga, it is 1,000 years. Then in the Treta Yuga, it is 10,000 years. In Dwapar Yuga, it is 1,000 years, and in Kali Yuga, 100 years. So we have come to such a short age that that we can't do any serious activities in spirituality. If you want to meditate, if you want to go to the forest, if you want to stand in one place, we don't neither have the patience, nor have the time, nor have the facilities, nor we are focused in a way like how Dhruva Maharaj achieved the success going to the forest at an age of 5, and then he could meditate so that due to his meditational power, the entire world become very disturbed because of its meditational power, and then Lord had to come and then give his darshan. So we are living in such an age that the age is in an awkward position, that our lifespan is not guaranteed. There's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think in the later stages, Prayena alpayusha sabhya kalo asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadrata. So that means what? It is Prayena alpayusha. That means anybody can die anytime. I keep hearing stories around me. Oh, this person had cancer, he died, and this person just recently near my farm, one young boy, he was just getting down from the bike, and then he just accidentally fell off, and then a lorry went over him, and then he got killed. So Prabhupada says that you have invented such things that you can be killed easily. So because we have invented motor cars, we have invented big lorries to carry things from here to there. So we have created a sort of complex mechanism to do what? To do, eat, sleep, mate, and defend. So we are doing the same things as animals do: eat, sleep, mate, and defend. But we have made it so complex that we are getting entangled because we are unable to come out of it, because the economies of the world are so different and difficult now, that one is dependent on oil, another is dependent on food, and another is dependent on clothing, and another is dependent on many other ingredients. And then if there is a war situation in another country, the other country is affected, export, import. So many complexities we have created that we are perplexed in making life easier. So Prabhupada always used to say, life should be meant for simple living and higher thinking. But look at us, and then we are making things more and more complex, and then becoming entangled in its complexities. So this is the age of Kali, because Kali is so powerful. Because during Parikshit Maharaj's age, Parikshit Maharaj was there, and then he was so intelligent that he protected Kali. He gave the Kali a place. He did not say that, oh, I will not allow you in the kingdom, because he was a surrendered person to him. Because Kali knew that if I don't surrender, I'll be killed. So he surrendered to him, and Parikshit Maharaj, since Kali surrendered to him, so okay, he has surrendered to me. He's a wicked person. So, but he gave places that he could control. He could control in these four illegal activities: meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. So he gave these places, and then Kali said, there's practically no place in his kingdom that these activities were going on. So then he asked for more places. So then more places was gold. So he gave gold. So then, like that, he Kali ensured that, Parikshit Maharaj ensured that even though he's actually he's hitting two birds in a single arrow, that he protected Kali and also he protected his subjects. So such was the intelligence level of Parikshit Maharaj. And then uh, so this age is practically is a degraded age, but the age is since it's degraded and since it's short and it's always disturbed, always troublesome, always there is problems. But the process of liberation and process of bhakti has become so simple that you have to just remember God. You have to just think about God. You have to just chant the glories of the Lord. And also, as it is said in the purport, you have to recite the Srimad Bhagavatam. So on a daily basis, if you recite the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that you can lock Krishna. You can lock Krishna in your heart. There is a verse I'm just forgetting to remember. That Krishna enters through the ear. Krishna enters through the ear in an individual. So when we are hearing the Krishna Katha, when we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna enters through the ear and goes to your heart. And after he goes to your heart and he starts cleaning your house. Actually, there was an example given by Amarendra Prabhu. I would like to quote here that if your house is unclean, and then one of your friend comes and he's not so close to you, and then he comes and sees, okay, your house is very messy, clothes here, shoes here, socks here. I mean, you're not cleaned it up and it's smelling. So he just comes there and then sees, and then he doesn't say anything and then goes away. If a close friend of yours comes and then he sees your condition, he sees, hey, why don't we just clean it up? I'll just help you, and I mean, we can just do it in a short period, and then we just clean it up, and then we make sure that this house is in orderly position again. So Krishna is that kind of a friend who enters all of us through the hearing process, Shravanam process. So that's why in the 9 processes of devotional service mentioned by Prahlad Maharaj, Shravanam is the first one. Shravanam is the first one and Kirtanam is the second one. So Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. So these are the first 3 primary devotional activities that anybody in any part of the world can do very easily. Shravanam. He can hear anything. He can hear anywhere in the world. He can chant anywhere in the world. And then Smaranam. He can also think about the Lord. So if we do these 3 things, then it is guaranteed that we are going towards the path of liberation, going towards the path of getting Krishna Prema, especially in this age of Kali, especially when we are born during the period of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is very, very, very auspicious. It is known to be very auspicious. It is not. It comes once in a day of Brahma, that after Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, and then because of him, he has opened the floodgates of Krishna Prema. So he doesn't consider anything. When in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Jagaya and Madai was so sinful, they were the personification of sin. It is said that there was no sin that they had not committed. So they were so sinful. And then imagine they were Brahmanas. So acting in a way that they had broken all rules of sinful activities. But Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur used to go door to door and say, Mukhe bol Hari. So they used to request, please chant the name of Hari. So just go and knock the door and say, please, can you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? So like that, they were going door to door, and then Nityananda Prabhu decided to give his mercy to Jagai and Madai. And Jagai and Madai were really in a bad state, in an inebriated state of, and they were drinking alcohol, and they were doing all sorts of nonsense. They had not covered properly, so they were creating disturbance on the street. And then Nityananda Prabhu went and then asked, just chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, just chant. You'll be, everything will be, wiped out. You'll be protected. Like that, they were not even listening. They were not in a in a position to listen to Nityananda Prabhu. So one of them threw a pot on Nityananda Prabhu, and then this was the plan of Nityananda Prabhu. So he started bleeding, and then because of his bleeding, this news went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then because of that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to run and come to protect Nityananda Prabhu. Just this was an act to bring Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to that place, and then immediately he wanted to invoke Sudarshan Chakra and then kill these two demoniac mentality people. But Nityananda Prabhu begged this, and he said, your weapon is not Sudarshan Chakra. Your weapon is not to kill. Your weapon is to give mercy to them and then absorb their sinful activities and then give them the holy name. So after doing that, they were ultimately they converted into a devotees, and then they become devotees. They were told to go to the place where devotees are bathing, and then they built a small place, and then they were chanting the whole day, and then they were doing service. Even though if you go in Jagannath Puri, you can find place where they were there. Jaga and Madai Ghat are there still in Jagannath Puri. So like this, Kali Yuga is known to be very sinful and then very dangerous. Also, padam yat vipadam. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is another verse saying that Shamasita e pada pallava plavam mahat pada punya yasho murari bhavam budir yatra pada pallava padam yat vipadam natesham. So padam yat vipadam. That means every step is a danger. Padam yat vipadam. That means it's like you are going, if you are imagining yourself in the war field, and then in the war fields, the opposite camp sets up mines under your feet. Just if you press it, it'll burst, and then it'll kill you. So like that, padam yat vipadam. That means this material world, especially in the Kali Yuga, it is just like a minefield. Every step is a danger. Every step is a danger, and then you can be finished at any step. So, padam epidam. But if you take the shelter of Krishna's names, if you take the shelter of Murari, so yatra, that means the material ocean is a very big ocean. You cannot cross. But if you take the shelter of Murari, it becomes as big as a water held in a calf foot. That means how big is a calf foot? The cow itself is the leg of a calf. Cow is very small, and the two of a calf is very small. So the water held in the calf foot, it becomes very insignificant. So if you take shelter of Murari, then this material ocean, Bhavasagara becomes calf's footprint, water held in the calf's footprint, and then you can easily cross over the material ocean. So, likewise, Maharaja Parikshit made an organized effort to propagate the chanting of the Lord's holy name, and thus he saved the citizens from the clutches of Kali. So he made sure that all his subjects, chanted the holy names of the Lord and then became devotees. So that is the duty of a king. So duty of a king, duty of a father, a duty of a mother, duty of a guru. So don't become father, don't become a king, don't become a mother, don't become a guru unless you are able to take your subjects, make your subjects escape death. If you cannot make your subjects escape death, you're not supposed to take these positions. So these positions are very important, whether you are a king, whether you are a father, whether you're a mother, whether you are a guru. So you are supposed to release your subjects from the clutches of death. So Parikshit Maharaj's position was like that, and then he made sure that he encouraged people to do chanting of the holy name, and then he made sure the Kali's effect was not there until he was there. But eventually, the age of Kali has set in, and since Krishna left, after Krishna left, all the bad things came to us. But Krishna advented in another form, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna came in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a literary incarnation. Literary incarnation is Srimad Bhagavatam. So he came through Srimad Bhagavatam, and then all the pastimes, all the good things about devotees, and then many things are there in the Srimad Bhagavatam that we can learn, and then all the ill effects of Kali can be counteracted. So these are some of the great advantages of the age of Kali, and Maharaja Parikshit took all the advantages and did not think of any ill of the age of Kali. So instead of just lamenting or just blaming our situation, that okay, I'm in this situation, I can't help myself, I'm so this thing, we are born in the age of Kali, this is not a good age. Instead of lamenting, intelligent person will take advantage of the situation and then make a best use of the bad bargain. Yeah. So in this verse also, it is compared to a bee. Always bees go to the nectar, and then always houseflies goes to the place where there is wound. Yeah. So we have to be like a bee, where we are always searching for good association. We are always searching for the good information. I mean, through our intelligence, we should always seek good association, seek good company, so that we can benefit. We have to remove the nectar. It is said that the Hansa Pakshi, I think the swan, if you give milk to it, it has the capacity to separate milk from water, or water from milk. So it will take only the milk. It will take only the milk, and it will leave the water. So we should be like the bees, which can take only the nectar. We should be like the swans, which can take only the milk and leave the water. And there is another bird, which I didn't know, and then I came to know in one of the classes that there is a Jataka Pakshi. So Jataka Pakshi opens its beak to the rainwater. It only drinks water if it is coming from the rain. It doesn't drink any other water. It only waits for the rainwater to come, and then it opens its mouth and it drinks water. So see its determination. See its how determined it is. Just even if the water is there around, it doesn't drink. It only drinks from the rain. So we have to be like that, like a bee, which is only taking the nectar, like a swan, which we can extract the milk out of the contaminated milk with water, or like a Jataka Pakshi waiting for the rain, even if it's difficult. So it waits for the rainfall to come, and then so like that we have to understand the goodness of this Kali Yuga, and then we have to extract it like a bee, and then take the best out of the bad bargain. So even it is said that in this Kali Yuga, in the earthly planet, even the demigods are queuing up to take their births, just because the process is so simple. Imagine if you are thinking of, we all may be thinking of bad activity in our brain, in our mind, but unless you do it, it is not going to have its reaction. But opposite, if you're just thinking of a good activity, spiritual activity, if you're just thinking about a temple service, if you're thinking about a preaching activity, if you're thinking about book distribution, you're just thinking about it, that good effect is coming back to us. So imagine that, just like my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj used to say that this is like a sale, a discount sale where everyone is rushing. If somebody announces that Apple iPhones, yeah, are for sale from this time to this time, and if you come during that time, it will be sold at 10,000 shillings or something like that. So everybody will queue there, and everybody will think that, okay, I have to get that phone, however difficult it is. If I go in the streets and sleep on the street in the midnight, it's okay, but still I have to get that phone. So similarly, this is the advantage of Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga, it is just, they've opened Krishna has opened the floodgates of love, floodgates of the bhakti. Especially Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has literally opened the floodgates of the bhakti. So there we have to take advantage of this, and then make best use of the bad bargain. And also in the next verse, Parikshit Maharaja considered the less intelligent men might find the personality of Kali to be very powerful, but that those who are self-controlled would have nothing to fear. The king was powerful like a tiger and took care of the foolish, careless persons. Those who are not devotees of the Lord are careless and unintelligent. Unless one is thoroughly intelligent, one cannot be a devotee of the Lord. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is also said that Krishna je bhaje sevare chatur. So who is worshipping Krishna, he is the most intelligent, because unless he has understood the essence of all the Vedas, unless he has crossed all the steps of spiritual gradual progress, he cannot come to the conclusion that Krishna is the supreme and then I have to worship Krishna. So unintelligent persons cannot take to Krishna consciousness. So that's why when we see some places, when we approach some people, they say, "Oh, what is this? What is this chanting and dancing? This is nothing. It is better to go and study Vedas, and it is better to study something." Some people may think like that, but this is an easy process. Just like if you want to reach to the 20th floor, if you have a lift and if you have a steps, the most intelligent person will choose the lift, not the floor, not the steps, because once you press the button, you are at the 20th floor immediately. But if you want to take the steps, it will take time. It will take its own time and effort and energy. So likewise, these two verses are clearly saying that this Kali Yuga is a very degraded age, and not a good age. And then in terms of lifespan, in terms of our preparedness for death, and any death can come anytime, and we have created so many ill activities, and then there are so many forces acting against us for our spiritual development. But there is one great quality of this Kali Yuga, that if we chant properly, if you are involved in the Kirtana movement, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, so your heart is being cleansed and cleansed and cleansed. So finally, you will attain Krishna Prema, which we are all seeking, from millions and millions of births, that we are seeking that true love, which we have not found. So we are seeking for the true love, which is there with only one person, that is Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. If there are any comments, questions, or corrections, I would like to take.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful session. I open it up for any questions or comments. I'm really sorry I can't switch on my video today. The internet over here is having problems. I was disconnected a lot of times. So
Mataji, my wife, is coming to the airport to travel to Kenya, so I have to call her. So I have to.
Prabhuji, we'll close the session up. let us just chant the Hare Krishna Ma mantra in glorification of Prabhuji. Everybody kindly unmute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Rubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha
Patitanam
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
His Grace Arya Govind Prabhu ki
Jai.
Thank you very
ISKCON
much.
Eldoret ki Jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Gaur Bhaktarund ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for making your time and making yourself available in spite of your busy schedule.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
so
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.